Hi everybody. This video message today, what I like to call Lesson for Living from Beyond, is it's for everyone. It's a message for everyone, but it might be in particularly helpful for those of you who are maybe feeling down or struggling with what we perceive as inhumanity going on in the world, not quite being able to see each other as equal, worthy human beings, and dealing with the complexity of all that, how we treat others, how we see others with a sense of oneness. If your or our inability to do that, if you fall into that, this video message, this lesson for living from beyond today is for you. I had a beautiful mediumship session recently with a father in spirit who has words of encouragement to share about just this very thing. He helped me feel immediately that actually he was a lot like my dad. It was kind of funny in a way. He rode a Harley. I could tell that he did have a real social side to him and loved his social aspect of life, but more often than not, he preferred to be alone. I could tell that about him. He lived alone. I felt that he lived near the mountains, and I actually heard in my mind that song, America the Beautiful, and Purple Mountain Majesty. And his daughter, my client in the session, started laughing and sort of crying with tears too, because he actually had those mountains outside of his kitchen window, those very mountains that were written about in that song that was playing in my mind. I could tell he lived out west and lived among the mountains. I could tell that he liked to do Harley trips alone, that he may have rode sometimes with other people, but he actually really liked to do them alone. I found that nature for him was his connection to God. And I felt this complexity with him that I couldn't quite totally name, but I felt that he actually had quite a faith. And yet I could tell that it was like not really traditional, but I couldn't understand why, because in one way it felt traditional and another way it didn't. And I said, I feel like he didn't go to church. He was not a church person, but at the same time, he feels very traditionally religious. And she said, well, that makes sense to me because he read the Bible every single day, but he never went to church and didn't want to. That man helped me feel how he found his connection to God, to what is bigger than ourselves in the mountains and out in nature. He even showed himself to me as a bald eagle, flying around the mountain, and kind of helped me feel and sense that because he wasn't sort of in life consumed with some of more dogmatic ways of thinking, that in spirit he has more opportunities. And I really want to be clear that this is not like there's this way to be or this way to be or one right way. That's not it at all. I connect with people in spirit that are devoutly religious and those that aren't at all and everything in between. But he was helping me feel that his opportunities in spirit are often about experiencing God as a part of the natural world. And in this case, being a bald eagle flying around the mountain, which was, of course, to his daughter, would be something exactly that his dad would share, and just how much he loved bald eagles. He helped me feel that he was fascinated with Native American history, which he was. But this is really the lesson for living from beyond. He helped me understand that his daughter, in her ideas and thinking about life, politically, and just ideas of thinking about how we go about living and all of that kind of stuff, is very different than everyone around her, that she's kind of alone in that sense. And we could put labels to that, but the labels don't really matter. It's more that her way of thinking and believing about things is very different than her family, friends, community, that sort of thing. And she said that is absolutely true. I could feel that it was even very different from her dad. And she said that was true. And her dad had 2 words for her: keep going. And he helped me feel that she leads with example, that she's not trying to fight everyone and try to convince them of things and trying to, tell them they're wrong and she's right, that's not her approach. Her approach is to simply be authentic to her inner knowing and to live her life in a way that is reflective of high ideals, the high ideals that she has for her life and her thoughts about how we should treat each other as human beings. And the dad's message was, keep going. And what I know from multiple mediumship sessions across a number of years is that once in a while, those in spirit show up, and it's not that they talk about politics, but they definitely show up to say, for those who are really leading a life that reflects love and equality, not only believing here, but actions that reflect a heart-centered value system that every individual being is equally worthy. That ideal is understood by those in spirit because when we cross over, we experience that viscerally. We experience our oneness with all humans because we begin to see that we are primarily souls, no different from any other soul. And we are in various human suits in this life under various demographics, various countries, various belief systems. But at our essence, we are the same. And those in spirit now recognize that. And to his daughter, his statement of keep going was to explain that for those of us that are living with some type of experience of that oneness and wanting to see that oneness reflected in our human physical reality, even when it doesn't seem like we're moving in that direction, or if it seems even like we're moving in the opposite direction, when we lead from a heart-centered place of love, there are ripple effects that are happening that we don't necessarily see. We have an impact on people in positive ways more than we see and understand. That has come up numerous times in various mediumship sessions. Living from a place of love and heart-centered ideals, absent of righteousness, is reflective of our lives in spirit. And you will have an impact on those around you in ways that you do not see and do not understand. So don't despair. As this dad in spirit said, riding his Harley up the mountain path, keep going. Keep going with love. Keep going with light. Keep going in authentically being who you are. You will make a difference because you already matter. That's your lesson for living from beyond today. I hope you take it to heart. Bye, everybody.